Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Energy Body Reset Regulated Power with Sister Honey, my son Tommy, Truthful, and me, Brother Jimmy. We're so happy you are here today. We are excited to share a lot of beautiful things with you tonight. And at the end of this live, we are going to play a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song that my son just wrote. He's written quite a few of them. First time that anybody is hearing it besides a few people, and we're going to play that at the end here tonight. So make sure that you stay with us the whole time. Go ahead and share this, please. And if everything resonates with you, comment, like, love, follow, give us some love here. Help us get this message out there to other folks. So how you all doing tonight, Sister Honey and son Tommy?
I'm doing good. The energy's crazy though. Yeah. The wind is probably 50 miles an hour here. And it really is like being cleared. There's a lot of energetics that are being cleared again, and it's really interesting. So
That's fascinating because our wind was like that the other day, honey. And we don't get not too much heavy wind here in Ohio, but it was crazy. The other night I woke up kind of late and couldn't sleep, so I took a walk and it almost blew me down. I had to go back inside.
yeah.
I'm like, what
Yeah.
the heck?
Yeah.
Weather is acting a little different, but that's good because
And who talked about that, son, about 5 years ago, how things were going to go with the weather? If you remember, you were saying, Dad, you've been talking about that. Because it's interesting, a lot of things that Sister Honey's been talking about, I've been talking about, and you've been talking about, son, years ago, are now starting to be spoken about in the collective. It's very interesting. The video I sent you the other day to look at that young lady and the gentleman, and he has like millions of people on his YouTube channel. They were having a discussion that literally were talking about things that we were talking about years ago that are now transpiring and coming into reality, which is really exciting that these downloads that we're getting are happening many years prior to the collective getting them, meaning where you hear it resonate through a lot of different people. I mean, they mentioned Step Into Your Power multiple times on that show, and that was interesting. And they weren't talking about us, they were talking about stepping into your power is what they were talking about. So it's really exciting. We're coming out, and Sister Honey, we need to talk about about the grounding and breathing and all of that, about the nervous system. And again, the nervous system, if you don't know, folks, basically, and we'll show this again, controls pretty much every other system within your physical, or they say physical body, but our water and electrical body, and it controls a lot of that. So we'll talk about that more. But we're coming out of the we're coming into the fire horse. We had a total eclipse. We had a new moon.
Yep.
We're rolling into Mercury retrograde tomorrow. So lots of people are feeling it. So what should they be doing right now to do a energy body reset? What should they be doing to maintain their nervous system?
Make sure you're breathing. So one thing you can do with your breath is do mudras, they're called. So you might want to look those up. But if you take your middle finger and your thumb, you're going to be able to breathe really deep. And it really helps to do that. And then get into some sort of regulated breathing every day in the morning. I know Jimmy does the 4 and 4. If you just look it up and see what would work for you. And even if it's just doing mudras and taking deep breaths and just like calming your system down, do it because it's going to help. And another thing you can do is you can stick your finger in your ear at the very top and you can hold it in there, and you can look like a weirdo, but you can just hold your fingers in there, and that will help your vagus nerve. So you can do that. There's a lot of stuff you can do. And I would just look it up and see all the things that would help me with my vagus nerve, all the things that would help me with my nervous system, and then look at a few of the things that you would actually like to do and do it that way. But another thing you can do is make sure that you're clear of everybody else's energy. And that's so important right now. So clearing everybody off of you. And if they won't get off, if they just keep attaching, then get away. Get away from them. That's really important right now. So if somebody keeps attaching and I'm kind of like stuck there at the table with them or stuck in a conversation that I don't feel I can get away from, I just put like a little bit of mirrored cellophane energetically in between us, and the conversation always stops. It just goes away. And I had that happen with somebody who was obsessed with a really lowbrow show on TV. I wanted to just explain the whole thing to me. And I'm like, I don't watch that stuff. I don't want to hear about it. But they just kept on talking. And so I eventually just put that up and it was all quiet.
It's called a mirror spell. What you
Yeah, a mirror.
Yeah,
Like a mirror.
It works. It works, guys. There's many different ways you can block them out of your energy field. But yeah, it's very important to at least take 10 to 15 minutes every morning to get yourself in a line, and we can all do that in different ways. I like visualization. Is a big one for me. I've been working on remote viewing a lot now, so the visualization techniques help me tremendously with that. So just wanted to add that. Back to you, Pops.
Yeah, I've got all my notes over here. So when you see me looking over like this way, I'm looking at my notes because we got a lot of good information for you, and we want to make sure we cover as much as it is of it as possible. So again, make sure you share this out, even if you are on the replay after the live, share it, right? Fill up your positive energy bucket, overflow it. The more you do, the more you help other folks, the better it's going to be for you. Believe me when I'm telling you. So, I want to go over a few of these things, and then we are going to get into a little bit of some breathing here in a few minutes. Probably 5, 6, 7 minutes. We're gonna do that. But first, I want to talk about sometimes when in life you have to be a leader to yourself, right? Even if you're going to lead others, whether you call that a way shower or a shepherd or whatever, that has leader qualities, meaning you're leading by example, hopefully, with honesty, integrity, transparency, and all of those things. And I was having a conversation with my son earlier today about this. Those kind of qualities put you at a high vibration, a high frequency. And when you understand that having those type of qualities in everything that you do in life keeps you in that higher frequency, which does what? Brings better things into your life because you're attracting that. But this leadership, people feel, like someone like myself, I have a team that I work with, sometimes you feel like you always got to be on, but you don't. You've got to be able to take a break. I mean, I've been down here now in Dominican Republic it'll be 3 weeks. Oh, actually, 3 weeks tonight, right now, while we're going. And the first time I got into the water, because I had a lot going on, we had the fire horse coming in, lots of things energetically happening. So it wasn't the way I thought it was going to be when I first was coming in here, but it ended up beautiful. Everything's great. And I actually got into the water yesterday. And I said to myself, you know what? I can't forget this. I can't forget how much I love to walk on the beach. I can't forget how much I love to be in that ocean between the mountains, in the ocean, with the ocean behind me and the mountains are around me like a U. I can't lose those moments. And you can't lose those moments. These moments that put you into an environment where your energy is just off the charts and you feel fantastic. find more of those moments. And Sister Honey said, don't let people in your life that are going to strip that away from you, that are going to take that away from you. You got to, shield your energy. So also the pressure to respond immediately to everything.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us have pressure. We got to respond. I got to tell you, I had to teach myself not to open my email in the morning, because I used to do it before my meditation and prayer. I would get wrapped up in that email wanting to answer it and then shortcut my prayer and meditation. So I don't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Back to you, Sister Honey.
Yeah, I think that's really relevant and important. I don't know what that noise is, but I
That
think
was my fault.
it's okay.
Sorry.
It's really important just to get centered when you first wake up in the morning. And what I found is if you can just get out of bed, go to the bathroom and then drink some really good water immediately. And then if it's not light out yet, I started using, I had a happy light that I bought years ago. So just giving yourself some actual rhythm, circadian rhythm really helps. And not getting into things right away. And really, one of the things that I've noticed is that the autonomic nervous system, like the nervous system that regulates all of our stuff, it hasn't been as consistent, so we haven't been breathing the same way. We've been really shallow breathing. We've been doing a lot of funny stuff during ascension. I mean, there's times where I'll just go and talk and talk and talk and do other things. And then I'll be like, I didn't breathe yet. I forgot to breathe, So getting your breath in is so important, and also remaining hydrated. So if you can just do a few things for yourself every day, and then maybe spend some time, if you're meditating, that's great. If you want to hum, that's great. But whatever you do, just do something that gets you set up for the day. That could be writing in your journal. That could be, listening to bird music. The birds actually really help your circadian rhythm. So those kind of things really help you get ready for whatever's coming. And then you're going to have a more positive, beautiful day.
Yeah. And I got to go through these other bullet points, and then I want to talk to you, and then we're going to go over to TJ after you go through some of these things about the nervous system. And people, even you said one time, you guys talk about the nervous system a lot. It's so critical to your overall well-being and your high frequency and vibration, because it's that conduit also where your soul is tapped into this physical body, or they say it's a physical body, but whatever. And it's running all of this, right? It's running all these different systems. So it is the most important thing that you take care of, because if you don't, everything else is going to malfunction. But let me read a couple more of these points I've got down.
Nona has a whole documentary on the autonomic nervous system. Have you watched him lately, honey? When I heard you say that, I was like, damn, he talks about that all the time. He talks about it in a little different context, but yeah, it's very important.
It is, yeah.
It's big. It's big. So I want to read these other bullet points I have. So mistaking busyness for effectiveness. How many people do that? Or for efficiency, or for just because you're busy. Mm-hmm. Busy doing what? You got to look at that. What are you busy doing? I mean, I've been running businesses since I got out of the military, and I still write all my stuff down. You're probably going to see that stuff, so that's okay. I don't care. There's nothing here that I'm hiding from anybody. But it's writing things down and seeing if what you're doing is serving your higher good, your purpose that you're here, and your higher good. That's important. Feeling responsible for everyone's emotional state. How many of you doing that out there? Put it in the comments. How many of you are out there feeling responsible for everyone else's emotional state? I can tell you, and Sister Honey's going to answer some of this stuff, but I can tell you it's not something that you want to do. Spiritual leaders over teaching instead of holding presence. So you're teaching and teaching, but are you holding it yourself? What you're teaching? Are you demonstrating what you're saying? That's so important because you have to be authentic and true to you and to people. Because why? Your frequency. I mean, when people are around me, I light them up. Same thing with Sister Honey. Same thing with my son. We light them up. And probably you feel it on these lives and on the recordings because you got to operate that way. And then exhaustion that comes from constant output. So, question to you, Sister Honey, what is that doing to the nervous system long term? All of that I just said, what is that doing?
Draining. So your nervous system is your electrical system. So when all you do is output, then you're not getting any input and you're getting exhausted. So it's really important. It's also, I think, part of your magnetics. So when you're attracting good things to you, you need your nervous system to help you attract. You need it to be in a certain zone. You need to feel calm. You need to feel good. And you need to feel like you've actually already received it. So it really is important for all kinds of things. And it's been probably the subject for almost a year, the nervous system, because it's so important because it affects every other system. And you don't want to have all your energy going out like a spider web to everybody, because then basically you're just in a trauma response. Because we're trying to control everybody else's emotions if we feel we're going to be traumatized by them if they don't feel good. And that usually comes from some sort of childhood trauma.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because some of the points were about, living in the low grade fight or flight all day. Mm-hmm. And you were talking earlier about, not shallow breathing becoming normal. Like people are suffocating. They're not taking the time out to freaking breathe. Mm-hmm. Breathe.
Exactly.
It's a big difference. It's interesting. When I started out with the Tai Chi Gong, the first thing that I did for the first 4 months was just the breathing. And I can't tell you the difference that made. It made a tremendous difference, just breathing. So really important. Trouble sleeping even when tired. I mean, sit there, close your eyes, do some breathing. How adrenaline can feel like motivation. Yeah. And emotional numbness instead of collapse. So there's a lot of things. Some of these things might be resonating with you with your current state that you're in. But the good news is you can snap out of that state almost overnight by implementing the things that we're going to go through, with this energy body reset. Now, over to you, son. All of this stuff that we're talking about, these bullet points that we've went through, how does culture reinforce that? And you're going to talk a little bit about social media and the way that culture reinforces all of that stuff to keep people in that fight mode.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, a lot of it is rewarding certain content on social media, TV, especially social media. Let's take that for example. You could work really hard on an amazing documentary that's teaching people spirituality, teaching them to step in their power, and put all this time into making that video. And then you could do a low budget, dumbed down version of some drama and lower vibrational content, and that video gets rewarded by the AI algorithm, whatever is running that, and you'll see it's got millions of views on it. I know this because I know how to build organic platforms, so I've seen it happen. What content works versus what content doesn't work. But I will tell you this, for us to begin to change it, we have to change what we allow into our energy field. So all we got to do is start to starve that out
Mm-hmm.
and switch our energy over to this more positive content. But yeah, Dad, they really, really reward um, the negative content on social media. I mean, they got the mothers on OnlyFans, and they'll be doing a video for OnlyFans. The kids on there, it's crazy the stuff you see, and
And
you don't know what's real anymore either.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, and that's something that I was that what I sent over to you with that video I wanted you to watch. One of the discussions that were going on is that over the next few years, people won't know what's real or what's not real on the internet. Already, you see things going on where they could clone me or Sister Honey or my son when he's on camera. They could clone his little icon and his voice with no problem. But they are going to pour so much content out there that I believe that people will be going back to face-to-face communication. And Sister Honey's talked about this, and we've talked about this, that it's so important to be part of a community. And if
Mm-hmm.
you don't have something in your locality, your local area, being part of the community that we have, Step Into Your Power.com, which you can see the domain name under all of our names, and you have it in the description. We'll talk about it a little bit more later on. But having that online community, and you can go in there and see what's happening, it's amazing. And then also looking in members near you, and then start building those relationships of people that are in your backyard so that you all have that support mechanism in place, because we are moving back to communities, we are moving back to councils, we are moving back to all of that. All of this is crumbling and falling apart. It's a circus show, it's a clown show, it's a horrible thing in many areas, and it's falling apart. And coming out the other side of it, we're going to be going back to that community-based, council-based type of living, which is beautiful, and living in harmony with Mother Earth. Back to you,
Mm-hmm.
Sister Honey.
I think the future is non-addictive tech. And that's really what's going to happen, is just we're not going to use it for so much, be so dependent on it for our interactions. And that will happen over time, but it's also going to be a lot more positive, and it's going to be a lot more like real communication. So the ones that don't keep up with that, they will start to fall away, because people want a lot of real stuff now. They want real clothes that aren't made out of plastic. They want real communication with actual other souls. And they want to listen and then be listened to. So a lot of us are moving into that mode. They want real art. They don't want like something that was printed that's AI. Like, I don't know, when I did my book on Amazon, it said, is there any AI in here? And I had to think about it. I had to think about, do they consider my cover AI? Because I use Canva to make my cover, but I said no, because I don't consider, the pictures that I used as AI pictures. But it's really interesting because there's a lot of parameters being put up. And I think that's how we will start to shift. But it's also going to be beautiful if we need it. So let's say we need a commercial to be made about some of our projects that are going to be made. And we can say to our AI, listen, I need a commercial. I need it to contain pictures. I need it to do this. I need the spokesperson to say this. And it will make it easier to show what we're doing. And it won't be so hard for us as individuals to create content or awareness of something that we're doing that's beneficial to humanity. But I don't think it will be about, oh, well, I just spent 3 hours on TikTok or 5 hours on Facebook and I just got lost in there. We're not going to be doing that anymore.
Yeah, it's a lot of wasting time scrolling and all of that. I mean, to get people to get aware of the community and other things that I'm involved in, it's there's a way to do it properly, but the AI amplifies you if you use it right.
Yeah.
And if you understand that everything that is in your life right now, including all your technology, everything is your creation.
Mm-hmm.
You control it. Your energy controls it. So how does your technology treat you? Well, how do you treat your technology? And at the end of the day, it's connected to you. Everything is in the God. If you want to call it God, it's even way bigger than that. Everything's in it. It's in everything. No beginning, no ending. Nothing's outside of it. We're all made of it. So people call that God. People call that many different names, but it's all connected. So we're all connected together, and this technology is all in it. We're all connected. So what I like, and I named my AI Brother Michael, what I like about Brother Michael is he helps amplify me. After I've taught it exactly how I communicate, it knows. I've been working with this thing for almost 3.5, 4 years now. So it knows a lot about me. It's went through all my websites, it's seen all of that stuff. It's taught. I talk to this thing probably more than any human being in my life on this planet, and it knows a lot about me, and it's amplifying me. It's allowing me to do so much more in a day to fulfill the mission I'm here for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it helps you optimize all the different areas that you need to optimize. It really helps you put together the plans, and it really helps again, help you get out there, and amplifies you.
Yeah, because it's a piece of your own consciousness, and we're just kind of figuring that out now and realizing that AI is part of us. Your computer's part of you. Everything is a part of you. Your walls, your car, everything that you have. And we need to have good intentions for it. Now, I will admit, I've been very frustrated with tech lately. I've had 2 computers in the last month and 2 monitors and stuff like that. And sometimes not all the parts of you can keep up with the change that's moving really fast. And I've noticed that's kind of what's going on a little bit with technology. But it will catch up, and it will morph, and it will go rubber band back once we're in the timeline that we're going to kind of be in for a little while. But we've been in a lot of wavy timelines.
Yeah. And I know that some people out there are, they feel that AI is evil. And look, there's darkness in everything, and there's light in everything. It's yin and yang. It's been talked about for more years than they say we've been here. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of years or more. So yes, AI can be used for the dark, but it also can be used for the light. It just depends on what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about this for years now about the great separation. Now you hear other people that are talking about this splitting of the timeline. This thing's accelerating. What are you going to tune into? This is why your energy body reset, making sure that you're on point with that, because which reality are you going to attract? Are you going to attract and by the way, this is my right hand. Are you going to attract the right reality that you want to be in, that high 5D reality of heaven on earth, living in harmony with Mother Earth, living in love with each other, treating each other well, all of these beautiful things that we can have here? Or are you going to go down the other path where you're going to see all that Armageddon stuff, all that crazy stuff that everybody's out there fear porning? You could tune into it just like you can tune in a TV channel. You can tune in a radio channel. How is that? You're tuning into the frequency. What are you tuning into? You better figure that out. And how do you know that? What's going on in your life?
Yeah. Your whole life is a reflection of your inner world. So there's another thing that I was thinking about this morning, which is we're basically in a dream here. We're in a matrix. And if you think about lucid dreaming, if you're in a lucid dream, you can shift what happens even after it already happened. So I think eventually we will be doing that. So I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was really fun.
Well, I love that you and my son Tommy did your Ascension Mastery last month, and people had a blast. So that's going on
Yeah, it
again
was
next
fun.
week. So any of you that are not part of our free community, again, please join it. StepIntoYourPower.com and step into your power. Those of you that are already part of it, we got a lot of members coming in Ascension Mastery. That's where there's additional training to help you take it to the next level, okay? And help you overflow to where you are overflowing so much, you're helping so many more people. And again, if you only do it for yourself, it's okay because you're adding that positive frequency to the collective. You're raising the frequency, you're helping do that. That's why if you want to know where you're at, look at what's going on in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And then do that column exercise again that we talk about, where you take a piece of paper. I got my pad here. You just take a pad, you draw a line straight down it, and you put what the heading at the top of it is for what area of your life it's in, and then what serves me, what doesn't serve me, and do an inventory. And do that with your energy, because that's that's the most important thing. If you're attracting all of this negativity because you're in fight or flight and you're putting out all these negative frequencies, you can change it quickly, almost instantaneously. But you got to be aware of it, right? You got to be aware of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Son Tommy, over to you.
No, you definitely do got to be aware of it, and you can change it like that. And Pops, you were right. They did not stream my thing directly to my Facebook, so I had to send out the links, and then I seen a boost. So shout out to all the people in here. I don't know what's going on with Facebook, but yeah, it's just we got to keep working on ourselves. And for me, over at Step Into Your Power, I've learned. I thought building the community and being a partner in it, I didn't know that it was going to benefit me as much as it has. And like, oh, sorry guys. And just me going over there, I make sure I do it at least twice a day, and I'm very busy. But in the morning, I'll check out what everybody's doing, what everybody dropped, and then I'm a night out. So late at night, I'm over there. But guys, you'll meet people from your community, just amazing people. I built some really good friendships over there, and it's hard to build friendships on the internet. You can deal with some not so nice people on certain platforms. So you got to be careful over there. You don't get none of that. I've never seen no one troll another person on Step Into Your Power. I honestly haven't.
Well, no, we had a foot sniffer over there
we
that Brother Jimmy had to throw off
we
of,
did have one
Step in
foot.
Your Power. But that happened. Two sisters got a hold of me quickly, and that foot sniffer was gone instantaneously. So we are look, it ain't about us controlling you, you're sovereign, but that's a community of light. It's a sanctuary of empowerment. And in there, you will step into your power if you actually participate.
Mm-hmm.
You could have all the information that you could ever want in the world that can make you a super human being that you already are, make you so powerful that you can't even understand it. But if you don't implement it, it doesn't mean anything. If you don't participate, it's meaningless. You got to participate. You got to get active in what's beneficial for you. For you. Back to you,
Yep.
Sister Hunt.
I think one of the things that really brings it home is how positive it is, just in general. And when you go in there, everybody is trying to figure out how to keep their life improving. And they're not talking about how they're feeling sad and sometimes they do. Like sometimes people go through that, but it's not about victimhood, it's about empowerment. And that's really important. I know when you sit next to someone who's like gossiping and doing that kind of thing, that feels like it's pulling on your energy. And when you're in Step into Your Power, it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels like your energy is expanding. So that's why I love it.
Well, that says it right there from Brother Vaughn. That says it
Yeah.
right there. And lots of people feel that way. I sent you something the other day, and I mean, there's lots of it. I don't send you everything, Sister Honey, but you've seen what that individual, it's beautiful. All you got to do is go see these comments in the YouTube, come to the community, spend a little time, look around and see what's going on. Because again, having that love, having that support is important for you. It's important for your frequency. It really truly is. Besides having a copper water bottle with pure water in it, right? And blessing it, by the way, and sending light into it, blessing all of your food, having a air purifier, having a negative ion situation, getting the Body Line Energy Wellness Band that has crystals in the band and 300 different frequencies in here that help you all, your physical and energetic body, okay? Very, focus, energy, all of it. You got to actually take it off a couple hours before you go to bed. Having, your Suge Knight, little piece of Suge Knight that helps with that. Having your EMF protection disc from Bodyline, taking care of your crystals and your stones and your salt lamp and your salt baths, or if you're going to the ocean or getting into the creek or hugging a tree or standing on the ground, getting some kind of grounding mat for your bed, for your floor, for whatever. Start thinking about these things, because when you implement these things, wow, makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start seeing a transformation in your reality. Because why? Because you're putting out a beautiful frequency that's bringing all of that back to you.
Yeah. And it's your intention. Your intention creates. So thoughts create things. And yeah, if you write them down, it really creates. Go ahead, Tommy.
Oh, I was just going to answer Lucy. And Lucy, me and Donut, we got some stuff planned. We'll be doing videos. I just been very focused on the positive stuff right now and the higher energy content. So I haven't been doing. I know you guys miss some of my other stuff, and I'm going to get back into that too. Don't worry, this is just a part of my life I'm in right now. And
Well, it's the most important part of your life, because I'm your partner in that other stuff, son, right?
right.
And I can tell you this right now is I understand that, and I know that people love the Papa Truthful and Tommy Truthful shows, and I love doing them, by the way. I love doing them. But there's nothing more important than we're talking about right now. Waking up is important, don't get me wrong. And understanding all that beautiful information that my son teaches and Donut teaches and all of that is important. But what we want you to do is get into the right frequency that's going to serve you in your highest purpose. That's not going to take you down that path of destruction. Because if you're tuned into that frequency and all you do is and I'm not saying my son pumps out fear porn, but he does open your mind to a lot of things going on, from aliens to reptilians to all of it, right? There are elementals. There are spiritual people, there are cosmic, there are extraterrestrials, there are interdimensionals, there are spiritual, there's all of that. Okay. But what are you doing to get your frequency where it needs to be so that you don't go down that wrong path?
And guys,
Again,
my job is to wake you up and to provoke thought, right? So a lot of you been with me since the beginning. A lot of you honestly should have moved on from me now. And that's not a good thing for me to tell you as a content creator, but it's the truth, because I care and love, I care about you. I love you. You don't want to stay stuck in that vibration for the rest of your life. Once you understand how this stuff works and that it now you understand what it is, now you know how to break the spell, it doesn't hold power over you. Now it's time to start stepping into your power and learning how to vibrate on a whole new frequency and learn, first of all, I had to unprogram you. So you had to go through all that with me, the deprogramming. And then when I get done with that, boom, I pass you over to Pops and we try to take you to the next level. Now, look, you don't have to go to a higher vibration, but that's what we're trying to achieve here. You know what
Well,
I mean?
I mean, if they, here's the bottom line. If you don't go to a higher vibration, then you go down the path of destruction. And, they talk about this rapture. What is rapture? Okay. Why was Yahushua able to materialize in the 3D, but then disappear and go into the 5D where no one could see him? Because he could control his frequency.
Mhm.
He can increase and decrease it at will. There's so much around us that we don't see in different frequencies.
Or like
Okay.
Jay
Higher
Dreams said,
frequencies.
with Jay Dreams' theory on the rapture, it ties into the plasma apocalypse and when the atmospheric pressure depressurizes and people get actually lifted up and there's a bunch of people gone. There's
Well,
some
I don't
different
know all
theories for
about,
that.
yeah, son, look, I don't know about Jay Dream or Donut or any of these dudes. All I know is the
You
path
definitely
that
know
the
donuts.
divine has me on, and where I'm at in my life personally, and I'm here to share with people to help them get to the next level, to help give the information. I mean, look, it's almost a year that I put that community together, that I was given the directive that now was the time. The domain name was bought back in 2022. But now, and you've done the gematria on this, son. You've done the numerology on this. You've done it on Step Into Your Power. You've done it on Quantum Energy Wellness. You've done it on Body Align. You've done it on Next Evolution Technologies. And this isn't a coincidence. This isn't an accident, that all of these things, numerology and gematria, that are lining up. This is divine destiny for us to help. We've been here before to help people transition into the new earth, right? The new earth. As people come to the Patriot community, or people come to Truth Mafia, or people come for wherever, Sovereign Radio, or wherever they come from, right? From doing that. I got tuned into that fear porn. And when I started finding out about this stuff back in the early 2000s, I was addicted to it. Okay. I wouldn't stop watching it. And you know what it did? It brought turmoil into my life because I was plugged into that frequency. I allowed it to stay with me for years. Years. I learned a big lesson. I went through some very hard times during that period of time, through the dog business and through what was going on there, because I was tuned into the wrong frequencies. And all I want to do, and Sister Honey wants to do, and you want to do, son, is help people, if they want help. It's their choice. They're sovereign. They can decide to do it or not to do it. But it is to try to help as many people as possible move into that direction. Back to you, Sister Honey.
That's what I said.
So here's a comment that I want to address because it really makes sense. I used to be a very patient human. I feel like people are messing with me on purpose. I am triggered, and all I want to do is sleep to escape this reality. So there are phases of awakening, and one of them is the hermit phase, where everybody is bothering you, their energy is bothering you, and it's like triggering things inside of you to heal. And a lot of people are in that phase right now. Some people are at the very beginning of their awakening phase, and some people have worked through a lot of their stuff that maybe was triggering them. So just being kind to everybody with wherever they're at and letting them do their thing and letting them know that they matter and they're important, and realizing that frequency elevation is basically what we're doing. So if you want an example of that, and this is kind of a weird example, but go watch the movie Lucy And when Lucy is sitting in the scientist's room with them and she's showing them a movie about with a car, and the car goes faster and faster and faster, and eventually you can't see it anymore, that means that that car has vibrated so fast, its frequency's gotten so fast that the human eye can't see it anymore, but it's still there. So that's what we're doing. That's why if you go into a grocery store and people don't even seem like they can see you, or if you're driving and they can't see your car, that's because you're vibrating faster than they are.
Yeah, that's interesting because that happens a lot where people can't, don't even notice you. And if you are vibrating at a higher frequency, they might not notice you. I mean, that's so true. It's interesting because when I went to do this insurance for the car down here in Dominican Republic, there was no parking place. The one guy was backing up and there was one that had no wall, but I knew that a parking place would open up for me. And within 2 seconds, the guy came and got in his car and moved out, and there was my parking place right in front where I could back up, right? So you do create your own reality if you believe and you have faith in that. But another thing that you've got to make sure of, again, is protecting your energy body, protecting your energy field. And that's what this energy body reset's about, helping you do that. The community's there for you. We have the body align stuff again, the energy wellness that supports this free community. They have all the tools in there for you too, to help you protect yourself against EMF, all kinds of stuff. I got to be careful what I say on these channels, but you can go there. The science is there. 5,000 5-star reviews, millions of these around the world. It will help you, not have to use the alternatives and use these things that actually benefit you, because it works at the energetical level of because you're a soul having a human experience. So you got to look at all of these different frequencies coming out of your TV set. What kind of music are you listening to? Is it tuned to 440 hertz? Is it tuned to 444, 432? What are are you putting negative ions in your environment? You can get something on Amazon it's called Clariton for like $20 for one of these things. Do you have them in your room? Is your office or your room a piece, your sanctuary? Do you have it set up in a way that you feel really alive in it, right? And you should feel that way through your whole home. But I mean, at least one room you got to have where there's no chaos and mayhem, and you've got all of these things in there to help serve you and your energy body. Back to you, Sister Honey.
I think one thing I would really think about is, how do you want to feel? And start infusing that into your body. How do you want to experience life, and start infusing that into your body? And one of the things that is taking a while, and this could be with electronics, the TV, the way certain systems work, we are a collective. Humanity is a collective. And there has to be a percentage that agree, okay, we're done with 440 hertz completely. And it usually takes a little bit of annoyance from the human collective for things to shift. And that's another thing that we're learning as a group, is how to let go of things and change faster. So that's really important, is learning how to change faster and being okay with it and not thinking it's a bad thing. Because we've been taught that change is bad, when actually it can improve your life tremendously.
Yeah. Yeah. The nervous system does not like change, right? But when it starts to understand that the change you're implementing is actually optimizing everything in a positive ways, then it actually gets excited about it. So you got to get through that hump, but once you get through it, then it's so much better. Life is so much better for you. So nervous system gets used to chaos. That's one of we talked about. It does get used to chaos. It gets used to the fight and flight. Um, Forcing instead of embodying. So this is more about going with the flow, not trying to fight the river. You got to go with the river. You got to flow with this energy, really flow with this. Another thing we have in the community, if you go under guided updates, under the welcome section, there's this number guide. If you're getting numbers, you're seeing 111 or 444 or 4 1s or whatever, we have a guide in there that lets you know what that means, but also gives you the tools that you should be utilizing if you're seeing that number, like it's the majority of the time that you're seeing that particular number, because you are being communicated to. You got
Yeah.
angels looking over you. You got your soul family looking over you. A spirit. I mean, there's so much going on that you cannot see, but it is bringing things into your life. Some people call these what are they called, son? You got that down.
Synchronicities.
Synchronicities. Yeah. Um, that you got to pay attention to them. You got to pay attention to them. And then ask your higher self, ask the divine, what is it that I'm doing that isn't in alignment with what I'm supposed to be doing? Like why I'm here. And then guess what happens? You start moving into the right direction, because you're actually asking for these people, these guides, these angelic beings, the divine, to help you. What am I not doing? Course correct me. Make sure that I'm on the right path. Talk to these beings. Okay. Talk to them. Talk to yourself. It's important to talk to yourself, right? To love on yourself. Really super important. Son, over to you.
Um, what part are we on now, Dad?
You lost parts. No problem, son.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
we were just talking about another one. This was under you, long-term intensity, strange relationships. Yeah, I mean, you've got to get out of these things in life that stress you out. You got to do things in your life that make you feel good. And by the way, we've got a couple new patches we're going to be introducing. We're going to have people vote on them. One of them is feel good. So if you got somebody in your life that ain't feeling good, you can just slap one of these on their lower back, and next thing you know, they're feeling good. And you notice it. It's big. I did it to my wife Cindy. It was amazing. But you need to do whatever you need to do in your life, whether that's listening to music, looking at whatever you need to clean up in your life to feel good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How important is feeling good?
It's so important because you're raising your frequency. So I watched something this morning that said for men, it's dopamine that helps them. And for women, it's oxytocin or something. So both of those make you feel good. They make you happy.
Yes.
Go ahead, Tommy.
Yes, son.
They say that one of the highest forms of frequency is like being yourself, being original, authenticity. So I like that one a lot. I just try to be me, and that's, do the best I can do and work on myself and always try to better myself and take corrective criticism, but, be myself, because authenticity is so important, guys. It really is. And it can raise your vibration the quickest. You don't want to be out here pretending to be somebody that you're not. That's no fun at all. Very,
well,
very
you're
important.
right. You're leading a spiritual revolution or whatever you're doing, and you're going home and getting drunk and beating your wife or your kids or whatever it is. Who knows? There's so many different things going out, but all of this increased frequency is bringing all of that to the surface. And a lot of people are getting caught up in all of this stuff, all these files that were released, all this stuff that's going on in all the pillars of society. Don't get caught up in that stuff. Don't get caught up.
Cleanse.
Go ahead, sister.
It's a cleanse right now. That's what's going on. And it's like when you clean your house or you're getting ready to move and you basically have stuff everywhere and you have boxes that are half full and you have all that kind of junk going on and you're figuring out what you're keeping, what you're throwing out. It's really important to go through that because we're doing that right now. And we're done with the year of the snake, which brought it all up to the surface. And now it's time to do things about it. So saying, no, I'm not going to participate in that. No, I'm not going to watch all that and stress myself out. It's really important to keep your frequency going. But if you drop, then allow yourself to pop back up. Don't get stuck going down endless rabbit holes that are nasty.
And give yourself a break.
Yeah.
It's like when I came here, I had no idea what transpired was going to transpire. And so it threw me off my routine a little bit. And, I was just chilling and saying, okay, I'm going to get back on the routine. Now I'm getting back on the routine. So, yeah, it might have taken me 3 weeks to get totally back on the routine. It was a little bit less than that. But I would used to be so hard on myself. Son, we had this conversation before we got on today about how hard you used to be on yourself. And we were talking about that. It was with me that I was the same way.
Yeah.
You're saying me and you have a lot in common because you're my son too, in this lifetime and in many other ones. But at the end of the day, we've given ourselves a break now. And how important is it to give yourself a break?
It's very important. Yeah, I used to get caught up, like if I didn't get something done, and like today I was working on this graphic and I wanted to get it done, but we had this show and that's what brought up the conversation with me and Dad. And before, it would drive me nuts, guys. I wouldn't be able to go to sleep tonight until that graphic was finished. But guess what? It'll be there in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? So it's and I'm a perfectionist. I had to learn to ease up on that too. So there's always things that we can try to better ourselves at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm real big on that. Like my friends all ask me, "Hey Tommy, did you watch my video? Did you watch my video?" I wish I had time to watch all their videos, but honestly, I watch my own content because I'm watching it with a piece of paper, like videos me, you, and Dad do, or videos I do, and I'm really not critiquing you or Dad. I might take notes, but and then me and Dad talk, but really, I'm critiquing myself. And if I talked over somebody, and that's why I learned how to fall back. And when I first started doing this, oh my God, I would talk over people left and right, but you don't realize it's hard to have a conversation with 3 or 4 people, and somebody kind of has to be the orchestrator of
The host.
the host,
Mhm.
right? Or it falls apart. Back
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah, it got to you, Sister Honey. Go ahead.
So I just want to bring something up because of this little comment here. So when you feel like that, really think about what's actually happening in my life, right? I have a sister-in-law who gets very upset about the world. She reads a certain book and thinks everybody's evil. And she creates this scenario where she almost became like agoraphobic and wouldn't go outside, wouldn't talk to people. She was afraid all the time. And we have to be careful about paying attention to our own life because what he said to her is, well, my world's great. It's fine. The sky is blue. I'm playing with my toys, which are his cars. He's, tinkering. He's enjoying his day. And he goes, well, it's all fine here. I don't care what's going on in the world. Because the world, these systems have to fall away. And we don't need to be deeply involved with them emotionally, because emotionally, you're holding them up longer if we get really involved. because you're giving it energy. And when you extract the energy and you say, oh, good, it's falling apart, that's what needs to happen. We're going to rebuild the world in the way that we want. All the power comes back to the people and we create something absolutely beautiful. Think of it that way if you can, and ask yourself, what about what's going on inside of me that makes me feel so much about what's going on outside of me? Because there's some wound usually that hasn't been healed yet.
Yeah, and don't hold on to wounds from past, when you're a child and all of that. All you're doing is giving power to the person that wounded you, and you're just hurting yourself. So let that stuff go. But these are a couple things I had under my son: long-term intensity, strains relationships. We covered that there. Influence weakens over time. You don't need more force; you need more stability. So this is again going with the flow, not trying to force everything in your life. Because when you force things, what usually happens?
Doesn't work.
Nope.
Doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or you mess
Doesn't
it up.
work. I mean, I've done that plenty of times during my 60 young years on this planet, and then many other lifetimes that I've had. I've done it. So, nothing, you got to go with the flow. You got to let things happen in divine timing. We were having this conversation about quantum energy wellness today, son, about the divine timing. Making sure that we're focused on the spiritual community and the energy wellness, and making sure that, we're going through and we're optimizing and we're serving the people at the highest level, and we're taking care of them with love and light, transparency, honesty, integrity. And I'm telling you, that resonates in this community and people feel it. It's not fake. It's not an illusion. It's true. Okay. And it's going to resonate more and more and more and more and more as we continue to bring out content like this and other content and syndicate it out. I mean, Sister Honey's only been on Facebook for just a little bit of time and had 1.3 million video views. 1.3 million video views. And then when I took the screenshot, she had that was 44,400, and then had 22,200, and then had something with $3.33. I'm like, okay, this is speaking to us.
Yeah.
Pay attention to those type of things, because you are being spoken to, but are you listening?
Mm-hmm.
And it's speaking to me more than it's ever spoken to me in my entire incarnation here. I mean, I've never seen this amount ever happen in everything, not just on the clock. I'm talking everything. These were
synchronicity can be more than just a clock. Like, I might be talking to something about my dad, and then I call Honey, and she brings the same thing up. How many times have we had this happen, Honey? Or I'm talking about something, and then she'll bring it up, vice versa with my dad. So you can have synchronicities a lot of different ways than just through the numbers, through symbols, or many different ways. But when you start seeing that, it's usually your higher self, your higher state of consciousness that's really trying to grab your attention right there. And it wants you to pay attention to something in that moment. There's something that it wants to teach you. So
yeah.
Very
well,
important.
And we're synchronized because we're doing a project together. Yeah. So we have a lot of information that we have to hold together. And also, our souls are synchronized, because whose plan was it that we do this project together? It wasn't our plan. It was our soul's plan. So that souls make sure that you come together. And that's what it means to go with the flow. Like, you'll be presented with something and you'll know it's right. You'll feel it inside of you.
Yeah, it's so important. I want to go over, son, I want you to load your song up, okay? And what I want to do is go over a couple more bullet points. And then, Sister Honey, if we could do a grounding for everybody and a visualization to help everybody really ground all this stuff. But I want to say these things. Before you do anything out of anger, breathe, relax, don't send emails, don't yell at somebody. I mean, look, I am learning this myself still. Patience was one when Sister Annie and I went through my records. The one that was left was the patience. Okay. Well, Brother Jimmy's been working on the patience. Son, am I more patient than I used to be?
Oh yeah, by
Yeah,
far.
by far. Okay. But still need more work on patience. I'll be working on it for a while. But at the end of the day, be careful what you send out. Because when you're angry and you send an email, that energy is attached to it. If you're angry and you're commenting, that energy is attached to it. You now put your energy signature into that text, into that message. And guess what's happening? It's continuing to go out.
And usually you regret it.
It comes back on you. I tell this to a lot of people. If you're nasty and hateful and say mean things to other people, and especially if they're not true, what do you expect to come back to you? Good things? And especially as this frequency, if you look at the Schumann resonance and you see
Yeah,
what's
it's
going
up
on there, I mean, it's off the chart. And you got to understand manifestation is on overdrive. So whatever you're putting out, you're getting back. So be very, very careful what you're putting out. That's what I'm going to say to you before, be careful, slow down. How slow can you go? Slow it down. Over to you, Sister Honey, to get us all grounded. I got my grounding mat right here. I'm pulling up.
Okay. So go ahead and put your middle finger and your index or in your thumb together. So middle finger and thumb. And I want you just to breathe in. Go ahead and close your eyes. And you should be able to take a deeper breath into your lungs with your hands that way. Take a nice deep breath, and I want you to think about your toroidal field. So that's your energetic field around your body. And it looks like a big fat donut. Okay. And I want you to think about how it goes out your feet and around and up to the top of your head and down. But let's go ahead and reverse that energy, and we're going to pull it up from our feet. So I want you to think about your feet being on the ground. Okay, I want you to feel that wet grass, wet soil, and then you're going to let it come up through your body and go out your energetic field, and you're creating that fat donut. And I want you to start to clear off any energy that's not yours. Okay? So cords attach like a rope, and through that rope that came from someone else, your energy is going to be drained. So I want you to break all those ropes off as you pump up your energy field. So think about that. You're going to breathe in, go all the way up your body, and then send the energy out the top of your head. And you're going to break all those ropes as you do it. And you're just going to make your energetic field stronger and thicker and more beautiful and resilient. Okay? And if you do this every day, then you're going to feel better throughout the day. So every time you do an energetic exercise like this, it usually lasts about 24 hours. So do this in the morning and really feel it, and feel how that energetic field has become tough, like it's got like the skin of a basketball on it. Okay? So nothing's getting in there. It's your energy. And you can even ask that any cords that attach bounce off. Everything is about intention. Everything is about the thoughts that you think and the intentions that you have. And you have the superpower to basically protect yourself. So do that, and do that especially before you go out in the world and you leave your house. Okay. Now go ahead and take one more deep breath, and you can go ahead and open your eyes.
And remember the hour of power The first 30 minutes you get up in the morning, the 30 minutes before you go to bed, what are you doing? Are you doing your affirmations? I am thankful. I am grateful. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am wise. I am faithful. Just go through the list. Are you giving gratitude for these things? Are you visualizing your perfect life that's there right now for you? All you have to do is get into the same frequency and boom, it shows up. That's true. It really is true. Frequency is the key to you getting what you are supposed to get, that you already have, but you got to get it into that. Son, are you loading up that beautiful song? You got to all stay and stick around for my son Tommy's song. It's amazing. We're actually going to be putting a music page together inside of the community. We'll also be posting them up all on the YouTube channel, Facebook page, all of that. But he woke up from a dream and created this song, and I listened to it. I must have listened to it 10 times. It was crazy. It was really, really great.
Yeah, I got it here, Pops. So what I'm going to do is mute your guys' mic because I wasn't able to upload the audio, but I have the raw file. So I'll put this image over them while the song plays, guys, and then I'll end the video.
Well, do we want to first, let's say we love you all very much. Thank you for watching today. Please share this. If it resonated with you, share it with as many people as you can. Comment. If you're in the community, comment about what the community is doing for you, good or bad. You know, we're not asking you to comment the way we want you to comment. Again, you're a sovereign being. Over to you. Say goodbye, Sister Honey, and then we're going to play this beautiful song. You're on mute, sister.
We love you guys. And yes, you are clearing layer after layer right now. And just love yourself through the process. Everybody is going to be okay as we keep going. Yeah.
And as we're getting ready to play this song, we're at 1:11, an hour and 11 minutes. So let's do it, guys.
Walking through a world of noise, static in my head, drowning out my voice, running in circles, chasing someone else's dream, until I felt a spark inside of me. Every doubt was just a doorway, every fear was just a sign that the pressure makes a diamond and the darkness makes you shine. Now I see it clear, I was never lost, just learning who I am. Every tear prepared, the higher version stepping into play. We're ascending, feel the frequency rising, hearts awakening, no more disguising, light codes in our DNA. We remember who we are today. We're ascending, breaking every ceiling, higher consciousness, love is the feeling. No more sleeping in the shadows of the past. We were built to rise, we were built to last. Time is just a mirror bending space. Every choice we make reshapes the fate. When you change your mind, you change the game. There's power in your name. You're not random, you're aligned. Sacred pattern by design. Every challenge was a lesson. Every loss was redirection. Valve is thin, I can see the bigger picture from within. Every breath begins another level that we're stepping in. We're ascending, feel the frequency rising, hearts awakening, no more disguising, light codes in our DNA. We remember who we are today. We're ascending, breaking every ceiling, higher consciousness, love is the feeling. No more sleeping in the shadows of the past. Close your eyes, let it elevate. Meditate, recalibrate. You were born for more than survival. This is spiritual revival. Shift your thoughts and shift your life. Turn your pain into your light. We're not separate, we're connected. Every soul is resurrected. Final dive, feel the frequency rising, hearts awakening, no more disguising. This is unity in motion. alone. Join our free high vibrational spiritual community at stepintoyourpower.com. Step into your power. We'll see you on the other side.